When we look at the prophecies of Shah Nimatullah Wali, we realize that whatever Putin has done with billions of dollars, a country, and all this grandeur is the same thing that Shah Nimatullah Wali said he must do. Only one conclusion can be drawn from the prophecies of Shah Nimatullah Wali, and that is that all the world's presidencies and monarchies of the past 700 years have all been our own damn fools. Welcome to 39, my friend. Welcome to Restart, the most dangerous program in 700 years. Welcome. Yes, greetings to the dear listeners of Radio Pasfarda and potential viewers. I am still, unfortunately, Hosseini, and this is the 39th episode of Restart presented to you. It is about Shah Nimatullah Wali and what conclusion his prophecies from 700 years ago have led to. The very important point is that we must first ask, why is this program, Restart, being broadcast after 700 years? We need to see what happened in that era and why, after 700 years, this restart is supposed to be broadcast again. We look and see that events occurred in the era before Shah Nimatullah Wali and during the era of Shah Nimatullah Wali himself that seem to be happening right now. In his time, before Shah Nimatullah Wali, the people of Iran had a religion called the Sunni faith. They had a religion that was man-made, a ridiculous religion with views that had absolutely no connection to Muhammad ibn Abdullah. The governments, meaning the government of Iran and other countries ruled by Arabs, had put out a new religion and named it Islam. And alongside this ridiculous man-made Islamic group, there was another group that believed in only one thing, and that was, for in every age a guardian is standing, the test is permanent until the resurrection. This means they believe that in every age there is a Mahdi, a Hadi, and a Jesus, and that God is not unjust to give a prophet or a guardian, or let me say a Mahdi and a Jesus, to one age and not to my age, so that tomorrow, when I go to the next world, there is a question left for me. This small group lived alongside that very large, idiotic Islamic group of that era, which included about 15 to 16 countries that followed the religion of Islam at that time, the fabricated religion of Islam. This small group lived alongside them. As Sadi says, of two brothers, one served the Sultan, the other ate from the toil of his own arm, and he directly refers to the 5th century Islamic calendar. Meaning, Sadi indicates that there were two brothers, one of whom served the Sultan, helping the Arabs like an idiot, and following a ridiculous religion of Islam. They had books, they had treatises. Let me tell you, they had published more than a few million lines of books from a man named Muhammad Ghazali, an idiot who they say got better in the last 4 years of his life. We won't get into that. But Muhammad Ghazali has a brother named Ahmad Ghazali. They call this one Sheikh Ahmad Ghazali, and that one Imam Muhammad Ghazali. His own title makes it clear, meaning when the word Imam comes, Imam belongs to the Sunnis. And let me tell you, Sheikh Ahmad Ghazali was one of the greatest mystics of that era. I mean the only great mystic of that history was Ahmad Ghazali, his very own brother. Imam Muhammad Ghazali was in the government and was saying the same things in the 5th century that are being said now. One of the famous sentences of the idiot Muhammad Ghazali was that he said mathematics and algebra are forbidden. We would ask why. He would say 2 times 2 is 4. You have to say Inshallah, if God wills. 2 times 2 becomes 4, if God wills. I said this sentence so you understand the depth of the filth of that Islamic era. He said because 2 times 2 equals 4. This is determinism and it is blasphemy. People should not study mathematics. People should not know anything about mysticism and Sufism. Why? Because of 2 times 2, Inshallah. We must teach people something so that when we say 2 times 2 is 4, they say if God wills it becomes 4, and if he doesn't, it becomes, for example, 8. In the era before Mr. Shah Nimatullah Wali, the pulpits were full of the fools of clericalism. Books, narrations, flogging, hadith, stoning, killing, murder, plunder, corruption and debauchery. Everything existed in that era before Shah Nimatullah Wali. In one period, the 7th century, 2 or 3 crazy ones, 2 or 3 Sufis, 5 or 6 Sufis, the era of the perfect human, come and give some explanations. I'm explaining this too, so you know why this program is being broadcast. Like Rumi, who acts crazy, Shams acts crazy, Attar acts crazy, Sadi politely messes with everyone's father. People slowly begin to understand that, sir, for in every age a guardian is standing. Slowly the subject gets out that, sir, a being exists in the universe called the perfect human. Meaning Sufism, a religion exists called Tasawwuf and Irfan. After this event, people slowly begin to wait for this religion. At this moment when Restart has been broadcast by Rumi, Saadi, Hafez and the like, which was later broadcast by Hafez in the 8th century, in this era the Mahdi, Hadi and so on are revealed, meaning the perfect human and Sufism are revealed. Shah Nimatullah Wali. Shah is a word in the name of Nimatullah. Now some also say Sayyid. Yes, well, Sayyid. Now that we don't even have 5,000 Sayyids in all of Iran. A Sayyid isn't someone just because Arabs attacked Iran. A Sayyid means he must be from the bloodline and genetics of Hussein ibn Ali. The Sayyid status of Shah Nimatullah Wali is not that important. What's important is the word Shah next to this name. As he says, we desire to turn the path into alchemy with a glance. This person, this strange human being named Shah Nimatullah Wali, emerges and places a crown on his head and sits as a king. The other kings lived like idiots. There was so much debauchery and corruption, so much classlessness and cheapness. It was as if it were just like today. After you realize the Mongols attacked us, raped Iranian women and children, if we want to speak fairly, perhaps the Iranian nation deserved to be raped, and the reason was very short and brief. They, for example, imagine Merkel. Tomorrow they send Merkel from Germany to Tehran. In Tehran they take her in the back and rape her, steal her wallet, take her gold earrings. I mean, this is a cheap act. And Germany says, sir, our Merkel, we sent an ambassador, she was our guest, you took her and killed her. We either have to say we were wrong or nothing. And someone, for example, in a Friday prayer sermon says, we will not admit fault for anything. We will take Saudi Arabia. In the morning we will go and take Lebanon too. We must export Islam. These same fools were screaming and shouting in that era too. And this caused Germany, for example, to attack Iran, the Mongols. Or they sent another ambassador. So in short, there were those, as Shah Nimatullah Wali says, I see the small and the great, meaning from the employee to the top, everyone is stealing. Whoever is the bigger thief is considered smarter, more valuable. Being honest and having character becomes a misfortune. And the other group were the cowards who remained silent, just watching the crowd. 700 years ago, they would sit and watch series and laugh, ha ha ha, it doesn't matter. They didn't care about their country, they were always watching each other, having designs on each other's daughters and so on. Then the Mongols attacked because the Iranians had remained silent, and the leaders of the country in that era were the most dishonorable of the preceding 700 years. In these conditions, Shah Nimatullah Wali emerged, and here Shah Nimatullah Wali comes and explains the next 700 years. The era is not very different, it's similar. So according to this theory, we conclude that now is also an era when the Mahdi is supposed to appear. Which Mahdi is this Mahdi? Which Hadi is this Hadi? Meaning the perfect human. Meaning the perfect human is supposed to be revealed. That's why when you talk to NASA, NASA doesn't come here and say, for example, that tomatoes will get expensive. What is NASA's job? NASA's job is to announce that, for example, such and such planet is this or that. The job of a person who is one of the great mystics of history, one of the top 2 mystics of the universe in the last 100,000 years, is not to come and say what will happen. He must state the historical future in which Sufism will be attacked. Meaning, why does Shah Nimatullah Wali say, I see the power of the Creator? He is saying, sir, a time will come that has never been before, an attack on the perfect human and on Sufism. That's why he explains this. Meaning his point is that, sir, before this history that I'm about to tell you, Shah Nimatullah Wali says, Sufism and mysticism have never been attacked to this extent. There has never been so much filth in the world. So, because he himself is a man of Sufism and is considered one of the great mystics of history, he is Sufism-centric. So Shah Nimatullah Wali talks about Sufism, not about NASA, not about, for example, the grocery store on your corner. So the rest was not important throughout history, because in this history, an event is supposed to happen like the Mongol invasion, meaning you should go back now, don't think it's something else. It's exactly as if the Mongol invasion has happened now, and Sufism is about to be revealed. Well, let's hear this. Prophecy means time becomes travel, meaning the same relativity of Albert Einstein. Mystical and Sufi people reach a level where they remove time. They see 1,000 years. What does it mean they see? It means, for example, imagine you are on the 10th floor of a building. I said this once before. We see books, we see cars passing by, we see the accidents, but on the first floor of the same building, if the sound of an accident comes, they don't understand which car hit what. You see it because of your higher floors. Now it's the same in mysticism, meaning Shah Nimatullah Wali sees but cannot interfere in it. He cannot change the future, he only sees the future, meaning time is removed. He sees Hosseini's 1,000-year life but cannot do anything to prevent Hosseini from coming to America. So Shah Nimatullah Wali cannot intervene in the affairs that exist now. He said, I see this and I have seen it. I see. Look, when he says I see, it means it has no past and it has no future. He is seeing it right now. So back then he saw this very moment. And it is so. It exists among the stars of the universe too. Right now, some of the star explosions you see are from 25 million years in the future. This is also a law of physics and astronomy that, inshallah, if there is an opportunity, we will talk about. Meaning you are seeing a star that has exploded, which is not from the past but from the future. These are the pages of time that have a curvature in space, the curvature of space. What they are talking about is related to these things that you should know. So Shah Nimatullah Wali saw something, and it's very... Firstly, it's not very important that Shah Nimatullah Wali, for example, the next 5,000 years, they see to some extent, and some Sufis see completely to the end of one thing. For example, the valleys they pass, they see this. The important thing is not that Shah Nimatullah Wali prophesied. It's very classless and not in the dignity of Shah Nimatullah Wali to call him Nostradamus. Or even if the Mayans said it, they are Sufis, meaning they were around Sufis, around the perfect human of that time. But the message of Shah Nimatullah Wali is strange in this poem, meaning he says meaning he gives theories about Iran that we must pay attention to. There are about 27 to 30 of them. I will explain as much as I can today. There are 28 to 30 prophecies in this very poem that you have not paid attention to. To be precise, 5 of these prophecies, one of which I cannot say unless it comes to my heart to say it. One of them probably, the 5 important ones, one of them I will probably say next week or the week after, so that you know. In this prophecy, there are 5 strange secrets, and 20, 25, 30 that are not strange secrets. They are completely clear. Now, as many have said they want to write and take notes and so on, I have brought the corrected version. My phone is in front of me to read from and tell you. The first conclusion we draw from these prophecies, from the prophecies of Shah Nimatullah Wali, 57 couplets are related to the present. Read carefully, dear listeners. What the websites and even the Islamic Republic and others want to say now is that they want to say some of these couplets are from the past or some are from the future. Up to the couplet, it's Iran right now, meaning these 57 are related to this very moment of you who are listening to this program. One of the tricks the websites are playing is to say, yes, the era of such and such thing will end, and the era of such and such thing will begin, and the Sayyid of the Prophet's lineage will come, Meaning, for example, they say Khomeini came and it's like this. The era of Shah Nimatullah Wali was also like this. Meaning they would say a mother gave birth to a child, so and so came up short. The messenger of God prophesied that Khomeini would come. Meaning these things they are saying now, mocking themselves and their mothers and fathers, these same things existed in the previous era. Now after this, let me say, then we'll get to these topics. So after Shah Nimatullah Wali came, he announced a new religion that was an old religion, hundreds of thousands of years old. He said, "Sir, for in every age a guardian is standing, and in every period there is a Mahdi, Hadi, Imam of the time, Jesus, Moses, in every era. Now the fact that you can't find him is not our problem." After this, Shah Ismail of the Safavid dynasty came and ruled Iran. Let me tell you, the Shia, later they said Shia, not Shia, meaning the group that supports the perfect human, meaning this very restart. After Shah Ismail I of the Safavids, 2.5 centuries passed and the government of Iran became Shia. What does Shia mean? It means a new man-made religion again. Meaning they took the restart style Shia that says, in every age a guardian is standing, and said the meaning of Shia is to just stick to these 12 Imams. Yes, he said a religion was created that even after 700 years, you in your country have still named yourselves Shia. See how similar it is. Now it's possible that 200 years from now, the people who are listening to Restart now and understand the subject, maybe in 200 years you still won't understand, or a new religion will be created called Shangul. So the current Shia and the old Sunni of 700 years ago, meaning from 1600 to 700 years ago, and the Christians and the religious Jews and all of them were a bunch of idiots who would create religions through the government. Let's see what is said in these couplets. Number 1. Shah Nimatullah Wali declared that all the world's presidencies and monarchies are our own damn fools. This was said at the beginning of the program. What does it mean, our own damn fools? It means if Putin puts billions of dollars in front of him, no matter what effort he makes, he's our own damn fool. In the end, he will do what Shah Nimatullah Wali said. He cannot do what he did not say. England and MI6 gathered during this 700-year period, 600 and something years. Whatever they did what Shah Nimatullah Wali said. Whatever Iraq, Syria and Iran have done, whatever the Islamic Republic has done, has been what Shah Nimatullah Wali said. These fools just formed think tanks, spewed nonsense, spent millions of dollars on it, and threw the nation's money in the trash. The result was that if they had come and asked the people of Sufism, they would have said, "Sir, soon, I don't know, your pants will be on your head." They would have understood the matter very simply. All this sitting in think tanks, many here think these politicians are a big deal. In the end, after 700 years, these prophecies have shown that whatever he said has been done, and nothing can be done about it. This is a reason that whatever else is announced from this program for the future will be done. Again, no one can do a damn thing. This is number 1, the conclusion we draw from the prophecies of Shah Nimatullah Wali. The second prophecy that Shah Nimatullah Wali makes is that he says in this era, meaning the era you are in now, these 57 couplets that are related to the present, he says in this era the dishonorable will come to power and become officials, and in previous eras it wasn't always like this, that everyone was dishonorable. We had some, maybe 40-50% good people among the officials too. Shah Nimatullah Wali here in the prophecy, in his couplets, he declares that anyone who goes to the mosque in this era is a bastard. Anyone who goes to Friday prayers is more of a bastard. Anyone who cries for Hussein is dishonorable. Anyone who is after money, lust, and gluttony, except for the group that has found the perfect human. The era of that Hussein crying, I said this is a very important point. He says, never in this matter. His second prophecy is this. He says, it has never happened in history that all the filthy people come to power. Anyone who goes to a war that the Iranian government calls martyr so-and-so, between defending the shrine and these things, he says it's all lies. He says this in these prophecies. I'm not making this up. We are reading the prophecies. We are reviewing a little bit of what's in them. It's very strange, meaning he says during the Shah's time, these 57 are for now. He says during the Shah's time there might have been 30% filth and scum, for example, 70% were good people, or 50%. During Reza Shah's time, 70% were good people, 25% were bad, 0.5%. No. He says during Ahmad Shah's time, 50% could have been good people. He says in the era, Shah Nimatullah Wali says Iran's era reaches a point where you don't see a single non-bastard among the officials. All of them are bastards. That's a huge statement. So it's clear, it's logical that the prophecy should be about this history now. If it's like this, it's clear, because it's a very important point. Such a thing has never happened. Number 3, Shah Nimatullah Wali says in a period of 10 to 15 years, even if an official in the system is good, he will be out. Meaning a few good ones in a 10 to 15-year period will exit from the filth that holds the government. He says there were friends whose hearts were a bit good. They, for example, like a group from the government, would step aside, go to prison, meaning it's as if the system is sifted and the good people either leave Iran in some way or leave the government, and their places are filled by the filth so that it becomes 100% full. And remember, this program is not political. This program is the restart program. And if I am saying these things, the only parts that might be a bit political are the prophecies of Shah Nimatullah Wali. Because after this, we will return to the valley, the continuation of the interrogation and so on will pass. And it is not in the dignity of Shah Nimatullah Wali for me to broadcast it on Shah School Plus or make another program. Shah Nimatullah Wali must be in a program that belongs to man himself. Shah Nimatullah Wali said these things about the present. Now whether it's right or wrong, you and you alone know. I don't know it all. I am only saying what Shah Nimatullah Wali said. So he says the government is all bastards. A few among them are legitimately born, and they too will gradually exit the circle. Number 4, simultaneously for the first time in Syria, Iraq, Khorasan, Syria, Turkey, and so on, everything falls into chaos, meaning it's the first time such a thing happens that to the left and right of Iran there is war and turmoil. But another message seen in this couplet is that, meaning if we were to say number 5, so it's the first time these countries suddenly experience such an event. His 6th message is that he also announces the emergence of the Taliban and ISIS. Why? Because he says in Syria and Iraq, this couplet is attached to the one above. He says Syria and Iraq and Khorasan and Egypt, I see in the middle and on the side. And then because he comes to talk about Iran, left and right, and so on, for this reason it becomes clear that the sentence above, which is Khorasan and Egypt and Syria and Iraq and Khorasan at that time, Khorasan would be, let me tell you, for example, the right of Iran, Iraq becomes the left of Iran. So he removes Egypt and Syria in this context, but it shows that beings exist in this, meaning he says that war and such I see in the middle and on the side, meaning that in the middle of Khorasan and Afghanistan and so on, a being is created in the middle called the Taliban, and they also see it on the side, for example, fighting with Russia. Iraq, its middle is ISIS. The country of Iraq itself now has 2 in the middle. There is also a war, for example, between Syria and so, and you see that the country of Iran for 20 years now, millions of dollars. This matter is not a joke. Look, there is a direction that is absolutely not a joke. Like there is a direction, a guy comes and says, Mr. Hosseini? I say, yes, my dear. He says, I want to open a restaurant, stick 28,000 locusts up a donkey's nose, then stick 1,000 donkeys in a cow's eye, then I want to serve their steak. Then you laugh, and I laugh too. Then we see that, then I turn to you and say, people, this is not a joke. This fool has bought 58,000 locusts, bought 29,000 donkeys, his restaurant is big, he has prepared the land, it's not a joke anymore, meaning he has bought them. Now in the country of Iran, at least 12, 13 millions of dollars have been spent, have been bought. He kept saying, Mahdi come, he from that side, Makarem from this side, Rafipur from that side. All this, the matter is serious. It's serious, meaning the event is serious. Now what's the difference? The difference is that in the prophecy they say, sir, an earthquake, for example, they say, suppose an earthquake will come to Tehran. Well, so it will come. But whether 3,000 people die in it, or 30,000 people die in it, or 300,000 people, is in your hands. That's why Restart is being broadcast. Why is it being broadcast? So that in this event that is happening, it is the love of the perfect human for you, that if your heart is moved, you become a restartee. At least you save yourself from this category, meaning at least you are not among those 30,000 dead. Now? No, I don't want to understand restart. Okay? He goes into the 30,000 dead. 30,000 dead becomes 300,000 dead. They didn't write the number. They said, sir, this event will happen. Now 3,000 or 3 million dead. So this program is being broadcast so that you are not among those 3,000 and you don't turn 3,000 into 3 million. Meaning anyone who has a problem with restart, I said 28 programs ago, I said his seed is from a bastard. Why? Because Shah Nimatullah said that in this history they will be separated. Either they understand restart or they are definitely on the other side. And when the calamity is about to descend, everyone on that side will die, and nothing can be done about it. No one can stop it. If they could stop it, gorgeous daddy, gorgeous daddy, gorgeous daddy, if they could have stopped it, they would have by now. Putin has been our own damn fool until now. England, by God and the Prophet, has been our own damn fool. The Islamic Republic has been our own damn fool. Saddam Hussein was our own damn fool. Bashar al-Assad was our own damn fool. These very ones were our own damn fools. They have done whatever was said. They did it like a damn fool. They just formed think tanks to do it better or worse, so they themselves would understand. So don't joke with yourself that maybe it won't happen, maybe it will. This maybe it won't happen, maybe it will is your two-bit self, and it means the rest will happen. Maybe it will happen, maybe it won't is your two-bit self that will fall. Your two-bit self is whether you are understanding restart, listening or not. This is also a kindness that is being done to you, is being done to me, that this program is being broadcast. Well, so he says at the same time these events happen, and these things are this. Theft. Everyone steals and scandal arises. So in this history, again he says there is another prophecy, this seventh, eighth one. Iran's money, after several thousand years, becomes the cheapest money in Iran's history. Its most foolish state comes into being. The cheapest money in the entire history of Iran happens in this very period. I don't know anymore. I really don't know how Shah Nimatullah Wali should say it. Really, Shah Nimatullah Wali? Shah used to wear a crown. He, for anyone who doesn't know, would wear a crown and sit. He was the Sultan. He was the king. Why? Because restart had already been broadcast. No one dares to say a word against him. Like, for example, suppose in another year the perfect human is revealed, he will wear a crown. Everyone is listening to Restart. It has about 10 million, 9 million listeners. Suddenly all of Iran becomes, he is wearing a crown, and everyone understands. It's not like that, because he doesn't like anyone to be killed unnecessarily. The stubborn ones will have problems. This is something you, the respected listener, should know. So every advertisement you make, every program you send to a religious army, many of whom have it, not many, maybe for me, for example, 50, 60, 70 messages have come, I don't know. But many of the religious army who are returning, for each one of these that you send to, or any of your relatives that you send to, you have in fact saved them to come and sit in the ship of Restart to go towards Noah's Ark. They are supposed to sit in this boat and go. Over 99% of it is very important. Iran's money returns to its cheapest point in history. Okay. 9. There will be an attack on Sufism and mysticism, meaning a direct attack on Rumi, Hafez, Sadi, Fardowsi, Khayyam, and Shams. Attack his tomb, don't attack his tomb. We think about Shams and the sexual relations between Shams and Rumi, these things that a bunch of mullahs say, who according to Shah Nimatullah Wali are all bastards. Why? Because he says anyone who declares enmity is definitely a bastard. According to Shah Nimatullah's theory, it's not even possible to doubt for 1% that this person might not be a bastard. He is definitely a bastard. If I told you that time to go out for a feast and I'm there too, I'll go get food. He says Imam Hussain is their guardian. Shah Nimatullah has declared that these are definitely bastards. 10. Religion and faith become weak. At that time, exactly in the same era of Shah Nimatullah Wali, it was the same. It's very interesting to know. Meaning in that era, people, one of the reasons is that officials go and, for example, rape Merkel and then hold their heads high in front of the Mongols, meaning it was all about consumption and theft and these things. In that same era, too, people had become disillusioned. They were upset. What kind of faith is this? What kind of religion is this? Meaning what everyone was sad, everyone was upset. Exactly after 700 years it has happened again now. That's why I keep emphasizing this is the most dangerous program in the last 700 years. Okay, he says religion and faith become weak. Well, now we see which faith, which religion. The religion of Sufism becomes weak. What does that mean? It means everyone attacks the Sufis to topple them. Restart. 11. Restart begins. And the common people understand a subject that they shouldn't have understood, haven't understood until now, and now they understand. All of this is in this same prophecy that I am reading, explaining from last week, so you know what it means. Number 11, he says, these words of mine are complete revelation, honey, and these are revelation. This is not astrology, this is not fortune-telling and divination and such. He says very simply that it is revelation and explains. So it's clear this matter happens at a time when people slowly understand that Sufis and the Sufis, they receive revelation. Because now, for example, 50 years ago, if this was the case, people wouldn't have understood what revelation is. They would have said revelation is for the prophet who has a white circle around his head, light shining out. Now they have understood that it's not like that at all. So for in every age a guardian is standing. Let me tell you, ISIS and these, for the first time, Iran becomes a republic, meaning both times, each of these presidencies they see twice. He says a president and official come twice and twice again, meaning for the first time. He says so now. If we want to say this, history is from, for example, 50 years ago, we are lying. Why? Because 50 years ago, Iran was a monarchy. You go back 200 years, it was the same. For 350 years ago, it was the same. It never happened that Iran became a republic where they become president twice. This is very important. So he declares that it must become a republic, meaning he officially declares that the Shah of Iran will definitely leave Iran. So who sent the Shah of Iran away? Ourselves. What does that mean? It means the Sufis themselves. Could the world's governments have kept the Shah? Impossible, because Iran had to change from a monarchy to a republic. So don't look for something else in vain. It's all in here. He said 700 years ago, the Shah goes. Very simple, very brief. So this event happened, so the Shah must go. Now which countries tried to keep the Shah? Many. People. Go ask these cowardly communists, they'll tell you. They say if someone wanted to seek asylum in any country in the world, they would first report to SAVAK. They would say, sir, this person has come to seek asylum. Should we give it to him or not? Iran's SAVAK would say, let him go, give it. Give him this money too. It was that powerful. And the Shah, without all this power, left for no reason. Whether you like it or not, it's your aunt's pottage. Eat it or not, it's on you. This matter is the same. So Shah Nimatullah Wali says Iran will become a republic and the Shah will go, and the world tried to prevent the Shah from going and he went. Who won? Moscow won, England. They wanted the Shah to go. These two won, but now they themselves, soon these two will have their mouth serviced, be screwed. meaning it's happening in sequence. Things are just happening. So the Shah of Iran left. The emergence of the Taliban and ISIS was announced. The next point, which I want to announce next week, is one of the secrets that next week, it just came to my heart now. I will announce it at the beginning of the program next week, so you know. Then we'll enter the valley. A massacre is on the way. An event is on the way. These are all said in these poems. Eclipses, lunar and solar dust, and the drying of lakes. He has predicted for several million years and several thousand years, and strange eclipses and so on. That will happen in this history which we see are happening. Let me tell you, the beloved places of the perfect human, then their mosques, these and other places become full of devils, meaning wicked and filthy people enter there. And he says at that time, wait for a big event, and if a restart is broadcast, listen, because restart wants no profit from you. Restart is presented to you from a beautiful one so that at least you are not among the slain. Do not harass people. Drink wine, burn the pulpit, but do not harass people. For this reason, the Ministry of Intelligence, for example, has been split into 2-3 factions. Why? Because one group says, sir, let's go say we were wrong, let this Sufi save us. The Sufi who is under the watch of the perfect human, and the other group says, no, Hussein will save us. They keep beating their chests for themselves. This is a reality. This is a reality that is happening. And for this very reason, those who say, sir, let's not steal, let's not do this, let's not do that, they keep getting put under house arrest and seeking asylum outside the country and are being destroyed, meaning they too, those who are also from the Ministry of Intelligence, are a bunch of wretches who are being killed. And because of that, they keep saying, sir, let's go say we were wrong. By God, everything will be sorted out. Let's listen. No one has ears to listen. Shah Nimatullah Wali announces that in the next 700 years, Noah's Ark will rise again. And Noah, Mahdi, Hadi, Imam of the time, or the perfect human, the same Sufism, will start the engine of his ship. Shah Nimatullah Wali says that at that time, whoever boards Noah's Ark will be saved. Because I see the 6th pleasant spring. When the 5th winter has passed, I see the 6th pleasant spring, and whoever does not enter Noah's Ark will be drowned. And to give the final word to the Iranians, he also broadcast restart, so they know that right now there is a great beautiful one, and he is the perfect human, and only the one true religion is the religion that he speaks. The great secrets, and Shah Nimatullah Wali reveals them thus. I see the power of the Creator, I see the state of the times. This year's decree has a different form, not like the year before last or last year I see. I do not say this from astrology, but rather from the Creator I see. I see the days of God, I see the day of God, that a Zulfikar, as you would say, is being drawn out. When R and D have passed from the year, wondrous works and affairs I see in Khorasan and Egypt and Syria and Iraq, sedition and battle. He brought sedition fitna because there was sedition in Egypt. The battle wasn't like that. Sedition and battle I see around the mirror of the world's conscience. Dust and rust and grime I see. Everyone's state will become different. Whether it is 1 or 1,000 I see. The darkness of the tyrant's oppression in the land, without limit and without number I see. I hear a very strange story. I see the story of the beloved's pain, war and chaos and sedition and injustice. From the right and the left I see plunder and murder and a great army in the middle, meaning ISIS and Taliban, and on the side I see murder and army and plunder. It's all happening. I find the servant like a master. I see the master like a servant. Many worthless base people as governors and rulers I see. Whoever was a friend this year, his heart under a burden I see. I find faith and religion weak. I see the heretic taking pride. They strike a new coin on the face of gold. Not on paper, they strike a coin on gold. They strike a new coin on the face of gold. It's dirham of low standard I see. Dear friends, every nation has become mournful and wretched. I see each of the rulers of the 7 climes entangled with another I see, the moon. The text of the poem is incomprehensible. I see each one twice with Nasab and Azal with Takchi and Amal.
I find the moon with a blackened face. I see the sun with a wounded heart. The Turk and the Tajik against each other. In hostility and conflict I see the merchant at the hands of a thieving companion. Stranded on the path I see deceit and hypocrisy in all parts. The small and the great I see. I find the state of the Hindu to be wretched. The oppression of the Turk and the Tatar I see. The abode of good has become ruined. A gathering place for the wicked I see. Some trees of the world's garden, without fruit and without yield, I see. If there is a little safety in that day, in the confines of the mountains, I see. Companionship and contentment on a corner. I see choosing this state now. Although I see all these sorrows, I see the joy of the Comforter until this couplet. This couplet has not yet arrived. Until before this couplet is for this very moment that we are listening to the program. But the next few couplets, until when are they? Although I see all these sorrows, I see the joy of the Comforter. Do not grieve, for in this anxiety, I see the joy of union with the Beloved. After this year and a few more years, I see a world like a beautiful painting. When the 5th winter has passed, I see the 6th pleasant spring. So, up to that couplet was for this very moment. From these 4 couplets that I read for you, it is from this very moment that you hear our voice until a command is issued. Welcome to Restart, my friend. Welcome to the most dangerous program. You have 2 paths. Either you will board Noah's Ark, or unfortunately, you will sadden both yourself and the perfect human. Because that beautiful one truly did everything to save you. This sign is enough. That he broadcast these secrets and these mysteries for you after 700 years in 1 year. Until next week and another secret, farewell.